First off, I'm going to ask for audience participation on this next part. Can I get a show of hands to anybody who has seen tobacco advertisements throughout their life, whether it's a publication, newspaper, billboards, or even at a gas station? All right, pretty much all of you. All right, according to Kim Christenberg, a highly publicized writer for Nation's Health, tobacco use is the most preventable cause of death, disability, disease in the United States, and more than 440,000 U.S. deaths each year, totaling $96 billion in annual U.S. medical expenditures. There are numerous accounts of human beings being affected by tobacco-related illnesses each day. WHO, or the World Health Association, states that tobacco will kill 1 in every 2 users. Thousands of Americans stop smoking every day by dying. Sadly, this statement has proven to be true. Today, I will first discuss the ways that tobacco marketers advertise to specific groups. My next point will then be, I will explain where advertisements can be found. Last point is to give you a heads up on our government's fight to limit tobacco advertising. All right, tobacco marketing companies who prey specifically on different age groups or groups. Marketing tobacco through athletics is one. In the early 1940s, Camel cigarettes ran campaign ads that linked superstar athletes to their products. Camel gave contracts to famous baseball players such as Joe DiMaggio, Mal Hoy, Yogi Berra, and Lou Gehrig, says the Jerry Adler of Newsweek. Lou Gehrig, arguably one of the top players in this era, was quoted by Camel cigarettes saying, "Camels are so mild, they never get my wind." Now put yourself in the young kid's pair of shoes, looking up to Lou Gehrig and saying, "Hey, if it works for Lou Gehrig, why can't it work for me?" This is just one way that tobacco marketers appeal to potential buyers. Okay, marketing tobacco to youthful audiences is another one. In a survey done by Stanford Center for Research, Disease, and Prevention, done by Stanford University School of Medicine in Palo Alto, California, they surveyed 571 seventh graders in San Jose, California. 88% of the 13-year-olds reported exposure to cigarette marketing through magazine ads, billboards, stores, and events. Nearly a quarter of the teens own cigarette promotional items. Seeing cigarette advertisements in magazines increased the likelihood of them smoking 21%, and seeing tobacco-related stores increased the likelihood of the child to smoke later in their lifetime to an astonishing 38%. Marketing tobacco to the upper class. Republican Senator Charles Curtis, shortly becoming Vice President of the United States in 1929, raved about the benefits of smoking Lucky Strikes, also contributed by Newsweek writer Jerry Allen. Dr. Robert J. Jackler of Stanford School of Medicine spread the message that 2,769 physicians say that Luckies are less irritating, as you can see on this little ad they got right here. Barack Obama, now President of the United States, was regularly seen chewing Nick Ray gum while on the campaign trail. Now a substitute for Marlboro Reds, says Adam Lockoff of Details magazine. This brings me to my second point, where the advertisements are placed. They are strategically placed into heavily populated areas. For example, billboards were scattered in and around St. Louis area, St. Louis, Missouri area, the 18th largest metropolitan in the United States. Billboards were placed in areas where were not placed in areas where there was above average incomes. Nearly 20% of the city's billboards contain tobacco products. 4 of the top 5 and 9 of the top 22 brands of cigarettes were present. Another hot spot for tobacco to be advertised are in publications, such as Sports Illustrated, People, Rolling Stone, Hot Rod, Glamour, Vibe, Motor Trend, Spin, and many others. The use of subliminal messages also attracts buyers. An example of this would be Camel cigarettes. As you can see right here, they often have very attractive young women showing little clothing, and they're often trying to seduce the potential male to buy the cigarettes. Case in point, sex selling. A second example I have for you today is Virginia Slims, as you can see right here in this middle picture. Virginia Slims is a cigarette company that is heavily advertised to the female audience. The brand portrays strong, sexy, independent women that know what they want. As we can see here, the picture is giving the illusion that the woman is in control. Notice how she is facing the camera while the man has his back towards the camera. The written slogan on the box says, "We just love surprises, especially when it's exactly what we told you to get." The message that Virginia Slims is trying to clearly send is a sense of female dominance over the men. Okay, which brings me to my third and final point. Our government's fight to limit tobacco advertising. Stricter guidelines that need to be followed by Barack Obama as he stepped in on June 22nd, 2009. President Obama signed a Family Smoking Prevention and Tobacco Act, giving the FDA, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, authority to regulate tobacco products and marketing. This law is in place to limit youth exposure to tobacco-related products and advertisements. The new FDA bans all outdoor advertising within 1,000 feet of schools and playgrounds. Tobacco advertising in magazines and other publications that appeal to youthful audiences will now be printed in black and white, no longer having eye-popping colors. Also, stripping down advertisements used by sporting and entertainment events, written by Kim Kressenberg of Nation's Health. Okay, a re-emphasis on what I just shared with you today. The uses of tobacco advertisements have affected people for many years. Whether marketing to different age groups, strategically placed ads, or our government's assistance. Male, female, black, or white. Advertisers do not discriminate. I still believe this is an uphill battle, and the best thing that we can do is talk to our young family members and encourage them to refrain from buying into advertisements and to stay tobacco free. I now hope I have given you enough information to motivate yourself to pass on any further knowledge I have given you today. That wraps up my presentation. Thank you.